So today we're creating a zero-based budget for a married woman who has a daughter and brings home a total of $3,374 a month in net income. But hold up, there is a twist. This woman is married and she is currently not budgeting with her spouse. So let's go ahead and create a zero-based budget, not only for my subscriber, her husband, but one for the family as well. What's up, guys? It's Jeanetta from Cash and Curls, and I'm back with another episode of Budgeting with Cash and Curls. And today's video is going to be an interesting one. Today, I'm creating a budget for a married woman who currently does not combine her finances with her husband. So, in the past, I've created budgets for single people and people who are dating. So, if you are new here, I'm going to go ahead and link my series, Budgeting with Cash and Curls, up here in the cards down below in the description box so that you can check out some of the previous Budget with Me videos so you can get a gist of what this video is going to be like. Super excited for today's episode. One, because today's episode is for my girl, D-Girl. D-Girl has been a loyal subscriber to the Cash and Curls community, and D-Girl, I appreciate you for being a part of my community. So let's go ahead and create a budget for D-Girl and her family. Let's go ahead and cover the video outline. In today's video, first and foremost, I'm going to create a budget for D-Girl. Secondly, I'm going to create a budget for her husband, and we're going to call him D-Man, okay? And thirdly, I'm going to create the Cash and Curls ideal zero-based budget for the D family, okay? I'm going to combine both D-Girl and D-Man's budgets and put them together to make one big budget. And fourthly, I'm going to leave you guys with some recommendations and some tips. And lastly, I'm going to leave you guys with some homework. So if you're interested in watching this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video like this, okay? D-Girl is a 32-year-old married woman who has a child under 5 years old, and she lives in Detroit, Michigan. D-Girl is looking to get out of debt, and D-Girl is currently a teller supervisor. D-Girl gets paid bi-weekly, and her net income is $3,374.56 a month. So the very first thing that we need to do before we get started with our budget is to first and foremost download my free monthly budget template, okay? I don't know how many times I have to say it, but this monthly budget template is perfect for beginners. So if you're new to the budgeting world, this budget template can help you get started. So all you have to do is click the link down in my description box and get you a copy of this free monthly budget template. So I have 3 different color markers. Blue is going to represent D-Man, the husband. Pink is going to represent D-Girl, which is the wife. And green is going to represent D-Baby, which is their daughter. So let's go ahead and get started with D-Girl's budget. So D-Girl gets paid twice a month. Bi-weekly, she gets paid $1,687.28 every 2 weeks. Okay, and her total net income is $3,374.56. So let's go ahead and get into her fixed expenses. So remember, fixed expenses are things that do not fluctuate. They remain the same from month to month. So she tithes $200 a month. Okay, she pays for school for her daughter, so I'm going to actually change that to a green marker. School for her daughter is currently $440. Car note is $188. Her auto insurance, $123. And she also has a reading tutor for her daughter, $160. So we're gonna put reading tutor $160. So we can clearly tell that this family values education, and I love it. Let's go ahead and add up her fixed expenses. So her fixed expenses for the month actually equals out to $1,111. So I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. 1,111. So we have a gym, and she pays $35 for the gym. Her hair is $60. Okay, her nails is $90, and she has Weight Watchers, and that is currently $15. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up her variable expenses. All right, so her variable expenses equal out to $200. So I'm gonna go ahead and write $200 right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into her savings and her debts. So currently D girl is saving $50 a month. So I'm gonna go ahead and write save. And she stated $50. Okay, and that's the only thing she's saving for. So I'm gonna go ahead and put $50 down here. So let's go ahead and touch her debts. So D girl has 3 debts. She has a credit card. Okay, and she currently pays $250 for the credit card each month. She also has Afterpay. Okay, and that is $15 a month, and she does have a student loan, and she is not paying towards her student loan at this moment. So if you are watching this video and you do have a student loan, I want you to get in the habit of paying at least the minimum balance on your student loan. So I do have a free ebook that you can actually download for free to help you get started with student loan repayments. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up her totals right here to see how much she is spending, for her debts. So we have $250 plus 15, and that is $265. So I'm gonna go ahead and write $265 down here. Okay, so this is D girl's expenses for the month. So what we're going to go ahead and do is add up all of the totals to see how much money she is spending a month for her bills. Plus 200 plus 265 plus 50. Okay, so right now D girl is only spending about $1,626 a month for her fixed expenses, variable expenses, her debts, and her savings. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here at the bottom is I'm going to take her total net income and subtract it from this number right here. So we're going to write her total net income, which is $3,374.56, and we're going to minus it from what she's actually spending a month. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So 3374. All right, so right now D girl still has about $1,748.56 a month that is unallocated. Okay, this is like a whole nother check basically that we need to still allocate money for. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write that down here. This much money is still unaccounted for. Okay, so this is D girl's budget. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into D man's budget, which is D girl's husband. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and jump into D man's budget. So I'm just going to go ahead and write D man up here at the top. This is D man's expenses. So one thing I can say is that D girl is on top of what D man is bringing in a month and what he's actually contributing to. So D man is currently bringing home $1,350 bi-weekly. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down here so that we can clearly see. And she also stated that he has a side gig and he brings about $200, sometimes $250 a month with that side gig. So I'm just gonna budget for the low end $200. So let's go ahead and add up these 3 expenses to see what his total net income is. So we $1,907. Okay, he pays for rent. Okay, and the rent is $300. Okay, he has a car note. Okay, and that's $211. Car insurance. Okay, $159. Okay, $09. Life insurance, which we all need, and that's $21.09. Daycare is $720 a month. Like, whew, I am not ready for that. Daycare is very expensive. Daycare, $720 for their daughter. He also has Netflix, and that is $15.49. Cable, which is $25. Pandora. Radio, which is $5.99. Okay. Apple storage, and that's 99¢. I like that he included that because many people typically forget that. His phone bill is $65. Amazon. Prime is $15.89. Okay, and then lastly he has Stars for $2. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up his total fixed expenses. Okay, so D-Man's fixed expenses equal out to $15.42. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down here. 42.53. My bad. All right, so $1,542. All right, so let's go ahead and write out his variable expenses. Okay, so he's currently paying for gas for his car, $300. Groceries for the house, $240. Okay, fun money, $100. Eating out, $80. Hair, $85. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up these expenses over here. All right, so that is $805. Okay. All right, so in the form, D-Girl stated that D-Man is saving for various things. She didn't state specifically what those things were, so I'm just gonna write savings, and he's sending $150 a month towards his savings. He is building his emergency fund, and he is sending $50 a month. He also is saving for the holidays, and that is $20. Car maintenance. Let's do car maintenance. Okay, and that is $25 a month. And then lastly, vacation. He is sending $25 a month. Okay. He is also saving for self-care. So I'm just going to squeeze that in right here. He is doing $30 a month for that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and add up his total for his savings. Okay, so we have $150. Okay, so that's $300. So let's go ahead and put $300 down here. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at his debts. So he currently has a Visa card, and each month he pays $96 for this Visa card. He also have a loan, and he sends $94.93 a month towards the loan, and he also has a student loan. Okay, and he is not sending anything to the student loan. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up these two totals to figure out what his total debt, what he's sending towards his debt. So we have 96 plus 94. All right, 190.93. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is actually add up all four of these totals for D-Man to figure out how much he is spending a month and to see if it's zero based. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so he is currently spending $2,838 a month on expenses. So what I'm going to do is take his total monthly income and write it down here, 2,907, and we're going to subtract it from what he's currently spending, $2,838.46. Okay, so that will leave him with about $68 that is unaccounted for. Okay. All right, so we still have to budget $68.54, but overall D-Man did pretty good getting his budget to be zero base. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and create my Cash and Curls ideal budget for the D family. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the D family budget. So I'm going to go ahead and write D family at the top. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start off by writing out their incomes. $1,350. We have $1,357, and then plus his $200 in his side gig. Okay, and this is going to represent his income. D-Man. Okay, and that is her income. All right, so we got 13. Okay, so the total family income is this. So I'm going to go ahead and write it right here. And I'll actually just make that green, even though I know this represents the daughter. But they're bringing home a pretty good, decent income. So let's go ahead and put $6,281.56. That's what they're bringing home together. All right, so let's go ahead and get into their fixed expenses. All right, so what I'm going to do is just have this green marker to represent all of their categories. So they do tithe as a family. Okay, blue is going to represent D-Man, and okay, and pink is going to represent D-Girl, and she's going to tithe okay. So then we have rent, which is a shared expense, and that is going to just be $300. Daycare for baby girl, daycare, which is a daughter expense, that's $720. School is $440. Okay, and what I think I'll do is just put a little star of like who's paying what. So dad pays for daycare, so I'm gonna just put a little blue star right here for dad, and mom pays for school. Tutor, T. Okay, and the tutor is $160, and mom pays for that, so I'm just gonna put a pink star. So what I'm going to do is just keep this color neutral, because this is something that they can decide how much each person is going to contribute for these particular things. So what I'm going to do before we add up these two numbers is I'm going to go ahead and just add $400 to utilities, okay? I'm just going to ballpark that they are spending about $400 for utilities, and they'll have to decide how they're going to split it up for each other. So let's go ahead and jump into their savings. So I'm going to go ahead and write out their debts. All right, so this is my ideal budget for them. So what we're going to do now is add up their totals to see if this equals their income, or $6,281. So let's go ahead and do that now. Don't quite have it zero base, but we're pretty close. So what I'm going to do is take this number, subtract it from this number, see how much money we still need to assign. So we have their total income is 6,281, okay, 0.56, and then we're going to subtract what we've spent so far, 6,236. All right. All right, so we still have $45 and 20 cents to allocate. So what I think I'll do, since it's very close to the holidays and Christmas is right around the corner, what I'll do is actually add this to their holiday budget. So I'm gonna go ahead and put plus 45.20 right here. So then we just need to update this number, 50 plus 45. All right, so this will bring that up to 395.20. Let's go ahead and add up fixed, variable, debts, and savings. All right, so let's see. Our budget is finally zero base, okay? So we have reached a zero-based budget, guys. So let's go ahead and get into the recommendations. So let's go ahead and jump into the fun part. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the recommendations for both D-Girl, D-Man, and the D family. So D-Girl, you're up first. So first and foremost, D-Girl, I would like for you to assist with more of the household expenses, okay? Looking at your budget, you have about $1,700 that is unaccounted for, okay? What I would like for you to do is to pick up another bill or two so that you can help D-Man with the household expenses, okay? A few years ago, I actually came across this infographic on Instagram from another personal finance influencer, in the debt-free community, and this influencer actually created an infographic showing couples how to split their bills fairly, okay? Not equally, but fairly, all right? So if I can find this photo, I'll go ahead and pop it up on the screen because I think it could be very beneficial to a lot of couples who are out there trying to figure out how to split the bills fairly, okay? One spouse may bring home a little bit more than the other, and we always want to be fair. Definitely consider picking up another bill or another two bills to help make this process a little bit more fair for your husband. Next, I would like for you to increase your tithe to $337, okay? So I love that you are tithing, but if you really want to give a tenth of your income, that will be $337, all right? Next, I would like for you to start paying on your student loans, okay? So I noticed in your form you stated that you do have student loans and that you are not currently paying anything on them. So before the end of the year, I definitely want you to get set up with your student loan service provider and start paying the minimum balances on your student loans beginning 2024. Next, I want you to save $1,000. So if your family already has your starter emergency fund, kudos to you guys, okay? But with that extra $1,700 that we have each month that is unaccounted for, what I would like for you to do is to actually take $1,000 and set that aside for a starter emergency fund for your family, okay? So if you do not have that already set up today, this month, you could have a starter emergency fund ready to go for your family to bring into the new year. Next, I would like for you to take that $748 that you have and throw it towards Christmas, okay? So since we're in the month of December and Christmas is about 4 weeks away, if you have not saved anything for Christmas, I highly recommend that you take that $748 and throw that towards gifts for your child, cooking Christmas dinner, or giving gifts to other people. Lastly, I want you to consider adding your phone bill and gas for your car inside of your budget because I noticed those two things were missing from your budget. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give some recommendations to D-Man, D-Girl's husband. So D-Man, first and foremost, I want to commend you on getting your budget pretty much zero base, okay? When I completed your budget, it looked like you only had about $99 that was left unaccounted for, okay? So kudos to you, D-Man, because your budget was pretty much zero base. And I love that you have sinking funds included inside of your budget because sinking funds are very helpful for us when we're trying to save for big ticket items. So kudos to you, and I love that you have a self-care sinking fund as well because self-care is crucial not only for women but also men, okay? Next, I would like for you to consider adding tithing to your budget, okay? So I see that your wife, D-Girl, tithes every month. I would suggest that you tithe as well, and if you don't want to tithe, at least give 10% of your income to a charity or to a particular organization. Lastly, I want you to cut back and honestly reduce some of your subscriptions that you have. So I noticed that you have a ton of subscriptions. You have Pandora, Netflix, Amazon, Stars. You have so many streaming platforms. what I want you to do, and you have cable. So what I want you to do is to consider reducing and cutting back on some of your subscriptions. Like, kind of do an audit and see which streaming platforms am I honestly using a lot. And if you notice that you're not using a lot of these streaming platforms, consider taking off 1 or 2 of those subscriptions, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the recommendations for the D family. So first and foremost, D family, what I want you to do, D girl and D man, I want you guys to schedule a dream dinner date, okay? I need you guys to go on a dinner date. And at this dinner date, I want you guys to bring 2 things. I want you to bring a notebook, and I want you to bring a printed out family photo, okay? So when you guys go to dinner, I want you guys to enjoy a nice meal, get some dessert, and then take about 30 minutes to just sit there and dream, okay? So what I want you guys to do is to just write out your vision and your goals for your family on this piece of paper, on this notepad, and just think about, where do you guys want to be financially this time next year, okay? So secondly, I would like for you guys to schedule a budget meeting before the end of this year. What I want you guys to do in this budget committee meeting is that I want you guys to go over your finances, okay? I want you guys to get a piece of paper and just lay out all of your finances, how I did in this video, and just see where your money is going every single month. So with that, I want you guys to rewatch this video together and just kind of see what I did, see how I mapped out your expenses. And I want you guys to just kind of determine what are some areas you guys want to cut back in leading into 2024. What are some goals you want to work on for 2024? So the third goal is to get clear on your family's financial goals, okay? So what I want you guys to do is to take a moment to think about, what are your family's goals for this current season of your life, okay? So I understand that you guys are not budgeting together, but maybe this is the season where you guys are going to start having more money conversations with one another. Maybe you guys are going to open up and share a little bit about your money fears and your money dreams, okay? I want you guys to start having conversations about money together, and I highly want to recommend a book to you guys. And this book is actually from another personal finance educator in the debt-free community, and her name is Erica Young. And she has this book out called Naked and Unashamed. I'm looking at it over here on my bookshelf, okay? Naked and Unashamed. And this book is about 10 money conversations that every couple should have. So I want you guys to dive into this book together before the year is up and just start having conversations with one another on the topic of money, okay? So if you're interested in getting a copy of this book, be sure to click the link down in my description box so that you can read it before the end of this year with your husband. So this is a big ask, and I know it's easier said than done, but if you guys want to be successful with your finances, you have to work together. I do want to give a disclaimer that I am not married. I've never been married before, but this advice that I'm actually going to give you guys today will be something I would do with my future husband, okay? Please start off slow, okay? Because this is something new. So I will highly recommend that first and foremost, you guys create a joint account for your emergency fund, okay? So if you guys are saving, putting money together to reach that $1,000 emergency fund, have that inside a joint account, okay? Next recommendation that I have for you guys is to up your grocery budget, okay? So typically a rule of thumb is that you want to allocate about 10% of your income towards groceries, okay? And when I say groceries, I don't necessarily mean $600 strictly for food, but I'm also including household products under the umbrella of groceries, okay? So definitely be sure to up your grocery budget because food is expensive nowadays and you're trying to feed a family of 3. Next, I would like for you to create a line item for utilities, okay? So I noticed that you guys are paying rent, but I didn't see any items, I didn't see any line items specifically for utilities. So make sure you have line items for your gas, electric, water, sewer, Wi-Fi, any of those things included inside of your budget, okay? So what I went ahead and did was just kind of ballpark and put $400 in the category of utilities. Okay, so you guys can make that adjustment if it's a little bit more or a little bit less. Next, I want you to create a fun money category for mom, dad, and baby. Okay, so lastly, I think this is very important, and a lot of parents typically forget to do this, and that is giving your child a line item within your budget. Okay, just like you as an adult, you need fun money. Your daughter, your son, they need fun money as well. Be sure to include your children inside of your budget because they have needs as well. They have school activities, they have football games that they want to go to, they have clothing needs, they want to buy new clothes, they want to buy games. So definitely include a line item in your budget for your child. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys with some homework. So first and foremost, married couples, if you are watching tonight, I want you guys to rewatch this video with your spouse. Lastly, if you haven't done so already, I want you to go ahead and download my free monthly budget template by clicking the link down in my description box. So a huge shout out to D-Girl. D-Girl, thank you so much for trusting me with your budget, and truly appreciate you being a part of the Cash and Curls community. And I hope this video gave you some insight on how you can manage your money and lead your family into budgeting together, okay? So if you enjoyed this video today, guys, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss my next upload of Budgeting with Cash and Curls. My goal is to do a budget every single month for one of my subscribers. So if you're interested in getting your budget done by me, all you have to do is click the link down in my description box so that you can be potentially featured on my channel for another episode of Budgeting with Cash and Curls. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Never forget that you can win with money, and I am rooting for you. Until next time, friends. Bye.